Greetings and salutations. We're here today to test out different types of fuel in this foundry. As you can see, I have a sticker which cuts down my burn chamber, but hopefully it will still get hot enough to do what I need to do. It was getting too hot before and it was melting through, or it wasn't melting through, but it was getting hot enough it was burning paint off the sides of the bucket. So I put another inch of insulation and put 3000 refractory cement on it, and hopefully it will still get very hot. I can do some melting. Anyways, this is the type of fuels I'm going to be testing. The reason why I'm going to tell you them, and I'll explain why. Okay, that is wood, of course. That is about 70-80% rotten. I'm just going to test that out anyway. That is maybe 10% rotten, the rest of it's good, but it's wet. And of course we've got the tried and true lump coal. And if everything works well, we got a secret weapon. Now granted, I fired this thing up and I haven't really had a chance to really smooth out all the edges, so I'm hoping this will give me a good idea if I could just use wood to melt aluminum cans, and what it will do in this foundry and what it won't do. Because walk over here, I can split wood and I will cut it up into the chunks you've seen there over there. Now if all I have to do is just get it, if I can find somebody on eBay, firewood, which usually you can, already cut, you get it, I can split it, cut it up, and then I can start melting. Now, considering I know that lump coal would definitely melt aluminum cans, but I'm curious as to what else it will melt. And that peanut butter jar is a little bit of copper that I have that I was able to scrap out of stuff. I know it's just a little bit, but I want to see if I can get it to melt. If I can, then I know the foundry can do it. Next to that little tray is some old nails. From what I understand it, it's mild steel with a melting temperature of 2500 degrees. If I can get copper to melt, then I will be moving up to nails to see if I can get steel to melt. Don't think I can, but I just want to see if I can. I want to see what it'll do. That's the reason why I'm doing this. Let's just test out what this foundry can and can't do. So, there's my bag of aluminum cans. Time to start melting. Okay, test of the mostly rotten wood. Can it melt aluminum? Yes. Aluminum cans, yes. It might be able to melt my aluminum ingots, and it took quite a bit of time and it burned very fast with a lot of smoke, which I expected it to. Now, this is what I was able to get. Pretty much one mostly full, one half full, and two like little bits, a little bit of splash. And this is how much of the mostly rotten wood we have left. I'm not even going to try anymore. In theory, it should be able to melt down the aluminum ingots, but it's going to take quite a bit of time, which it normally does. So I'm not even going to worry about even trying the copper. What I think I'm going to do now is try this. I expect similar results out of this, and we'll go from there. I also noticed that my lid is not seating properly, which I figured it wouldn't, so I'm getting a little bit of heat loss. But it's still getting pretty hot in there, hot enough to make the little metal sleeve on the inside starting to glow red or orange. And hopefully that high temp paint is holding up in there. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and continue melting, see how much I can melt down, and after that I will see about trying to switch over to the lump coal and see if I can hopefully get it to melt copper. I think in theory I can, but we'll see. My goal is eventually to melt at least copper. That's what I'm going for, because I know copper is between 1900 and 2000 degrees. So there we go. Okay, I'm about done melting aluminum for the moment, and I don't know if you can see it, threw down some copper I tried to melt before, threw it down there, kind of heated up a little bit. This is a little bit of copper I have, not much, but well, I want to see what happens. Out of the last little batch, this is what I got. So we'll see what happens. Got some lump coal in there now, trying to melt down some copper. Filled it up once or twice. As you can see, it's good and hot, but I don't think the copper's melting. It doesn't look like it. So what I might have to do is, I know it's hot in there because my ever blessed glove, you can tell it melted this finger here. That was just me putting coal in. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's insanely hot. But I think it might be time for my secret weapon. Yeah, might have to throw some of that in there and see if I can't get that to let it start to melt. We'll give this just a little bit more. As you can, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the lid is just going crazy. I mean, that's the refractory cement popping and just coming off. How insanely hot that is. So I don't know why it's not melting. I don't know if it's because the lid's not sitting on there level and it's getting heat loss, but we'll see if we can't try to get it to melt. Okay, I didn't have time to videotape this because I wasn't used to the anthracite coal, and it took a long time to get it going. And yeah, I kind of put the hairdryer on high, went in the house and went to the bathroom, got a drink, and just kind of he-hauled around the house. I came back out and it was a puddle of copper. I threw the rest of the copper in there, and in about 30 seconds to a minute it just melted. So it was extremely hot in there, and anthracite coal does do the job very well. You have to watch it very closely. On the side note, I did some research, and I've had people say that you can use regular coal to melt it, but it takes about 30 minutes. So I probably just didn't wait long enough to have it melt. But on the flip side, this is my crucible now. It took the blunt of it. I mean, it's just extremely dried out and everything else. I want to try to turn upside down and get a good hot fire going and see if some of this will melt back down here. That's the theory anyway. As you can tell, some of the clunkers are stuck in here. This is like glass right here, but some of the clunkers kind of stuck in, kind of breaking off, but yeah. So my poor crucible took the blunt of my experimentation and learning curve, but my foundry can melt copper. So I did a little experiment to see about steel, and the crucible, it looked like it was about ready to melt. So I called it. if I got a different crucible, and with the anthracite coal, I am sure I can melt steel in my foundry. That is, in my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure I can do it. And eventually I'd like to try to get a higher temp crucible and see if I can. But that's all for now, and I might try to see about doing if I ever get time, to try different woods to make coal and see if they have a different burn properties, or if I get higher temp or not. But anyways, have a good day, and bye bye.